Yavuz reflects on a former commander while patrolling with her new one. I see you found yourself in my chair again. It's technically a part of me, Capitan, so I can hardly be out of bounds. Uh-huh. What is that? A picture? Whoa, that is a scary one. Scary man. Huh. Didn't know Bells had sweethearts. That is one magnificent mustache. Nah. Oh, yeah. Sure. So, who is it? He's no one. How interesting. Our kind Lady Yavuz is carrying around the picture of a man she doesn't want anyone to know about. Haha, the intrigue. Fine, I'll get out of your chair. I didn't mean any offense. Captain, Alana are approaching from the east. Of course there is. Yavuz, are you playing chess against yourself? Yes, Capitan. Why? An old friend of mine used to do this. It's good practice in tactical maneuvering. It teaches you to see situations from all angles. How long have you been playing this particular game? Which you wins. Doesn't that get confusing? About 2 hours. That is... Capitan, it seems we're coming upon a monster ship. So, Yavuz, want to play a game? Sorry, Captain, I have things I need to do. Uzgunum. What's wrong with her? Yavuz, I think we should talk for a moment. Yes, Capitan? Endeni... It's your son. You seemed out of sorts lately. Is something wrong? Did I do something? No, Capitan, it's nothing. Let's see how I can communicate this more clearly. Yavuz, you're not leaving this room until you've told me what's going on. Fine, it's just... Well, I'm... That man in the picture I had, that was my old admiral. Wilhelm Sucho. I've been worried about him. Worried? Why? The last thing I heard about him was that he was displaced in a mutiny. I haven't been able to find out anything else since. Well, I'm sure he's alright. Do you think he's in trouble? Is there something I can do to help? I'm worried that he could be. Hold that thought. Looks like we have a Morgana on our hands. Oh, Yavuz. Good. I wanted to speak with you. Not now, sir. Alana on our tail. Now then, what did you want to talk to me about? I want you to meet someone. Yavuz? This is Marco DiMarco. Mr. DiMarco is an inquiry agent. I've asked him to look into Admiral Sucho's whereabouts. It's a pleasure, Bella Yavuz. Let me assure you, if anyone can track down your admiral, it's me. I would be happy to get started. As soon as someone can point me to the head, I think seasickness is getting the best of me. It's over there. Captain, I don't know how to thank you. There's no need, Yavuz. You might wait to thank me until we found Socho. Or Sochon. I'm glad I can help. That's very kind of you, Captain. Kok Tinoko Edivim. So, where do we start? Well, we start with Yavuz telling us everything she knows about Socho's personality, or personal life. Is Socho married? Does he have a family? I I don't know. It seems odd, but Sochon never talked about his life back home. What about biographical information? Where is he from? What about his extended family? I don't know much. He was born in Leipzig. He used to talk about being a Huguenot. Like I said, he never spoke much about his family. Now that I think about it, he did have a nephew. So Chon was proud of him because he fought in the war and joined the Imperial Navy. Do you know any other information about his nephew? Just his name. Herman Shochon. Good, good. I'll see about tracking down Senor Herman. Meanwhile, you two keep working on remembering anything useful about the Admiral. Capitan, looks as if a Morgana has appeared on the western horizon. I'll tell the crew to sound the alarm. And there's my cue. I'll be in the head. There's no need to look in on me. I'll come out when the ship stops rocking. Alright. DeMarco says we need to think of anything that can help him locate Admiral Sochon. What other possibilities are there? What did he like to do? I mean, when he had free time. How did he occupy himself? Any hobbies or interests? Well, mostly he just loves reading and having company. So he was a social sort. In a laid back kind of way. He enjoyed conversation, but he didn't need attention. And what did he read? He enjoyed history, especially reading about naval officers, that and philosophy. He was interested in religious politics, since they played such a big role in the war. Really? He was interested in anything that could help make him a better officer? He sounds like me. He sounds like a great man. And that made you admire him. Yvette. He was an excellent man. Sir, there's Morgana swiftly closing in. To be continued, Yavuz. Capitan? We have another Alano on our hands. Everyone to battle stations. Now then, back to the search for the admirable Admiral. Let me tell you, Yavuz, your friend has some interesting relations. What do you mean? I wasn't actually able to speak with his nephew. He's back in the service and off on a campaign. But it turns out Herman Sanchu, or Herman Sochon, is a little bit famous. For what? For assassinating radical communist activists. I did not see that coming. Looks like the apple rolled pretty far from the tree after it landed. He's an assassin? That's probably what made him a good assassin. It gets better. He fled the country after the incident and became a banker in Finland. It seems he laid low there until he was commissioned again by the Luftwaffe and returned to Germany. I'm guessing that means he wouldn't have much intel on his uncle if we could talk to him. Correct. We'll have to find another lead. Well, his family provided no useful information. So now let's start with the last you heard of him, Yavuz. I'm not sure how much help that will be. It's been about 20 years since I've heard of it, since I've heard anything. We have no way of knowing what information would be helpful at this point. We might as well hear everything. Sochon was stationed in Kiel, right? Yes. He was the commanding officer of the naval base there. Wait, was he? Yvette. He was the commanding officer at the time of the mutiny. He had only been there 3 days when it started. He had no way of knowing what was going on with the sailors, and he had no rapport with them and tried to work things out. He wanted to bring in outside troops for support, but his staff told him everything was in hand. When the troops were finally brought in, they were unorganized, and some even joined the rebellion. Yavuz, that mutiny helped spark the German Revolution, didn't it? Yes. Must have broken his heart. He resigned immediately afterwards. They replaced him with a politician. It's maddening. It's sad. We'll find him, Yavuz. Maybe it was a good thing. Will we? From what you've said, Sochon is a capable, resilient man. Surely whatever he went on to do, he did it well and found some sort of happiness for himself. Sure to be known and loved by whoever's around him. That will help us find him. Capitan. No. No, he's not. Now I know it sounds trite, but I think it's true. No, Capitan. We've come upon an enemy fleet. I think every time we go through another battle, my hair gets a little greyer. What are you talking about? That was invigorating. How is it that in normal circumstances, you're always so serious and severe, but when you're fired up and fighting for your life, you're suddenly generous, uh, gregarious, and upbeat? I think that's called adrenaline, sir. Well, I like it. We should get into harrowing ship battles more often. Well, it's scary. I don't know what to do with you and your chipper, Yavuz. Haha. Is that what that is? Either that, or I just enjoy what I was designed for. Oh, DeMarco. You look not as sick as usual. Are you getting used to warfare at sea? What can I say? It's growing on me. I came to tell you that I have heard from contacts in Kiel. Yes? I'm afraid that the Admiral's short tenure there and the unfortunate nature of his resignation meant he didn't keep up contact with any of his officers. Well, well, yeah, we'll have to look into other leads, but first I need a nap. Don't get discouraged. We'll find him, Yavuz. That's easier said than done, Capitan. So we need to give DeMarco more to go off of, and we should do it strategically. Right, we can't afford to miss anything. I think we should work backwards through Sochon's career and see if anything sticks out. We've covered Kiel and the mutiny. Where was he before that? He was a commander in the High Seas Fleet. He was with them during Operation Albion. The High Seas Fleet? You had a sister ship in that fleet, didn't you? Yes. Maltke. You're sad. Oh. She was still in the fleet when Germany surrendered and the fleet was scuttled. I really need to learn to when to stop talking. I'm so sorry, Yavuz. That's awful. It's alright. It was a long time ago. Well, no time to sit and brood about it. Alana on R6. Get ready. An enemy approaches, and so we raise our swords yet again. Prepare yourselves. Caesar Amalyuzi. Amalyuzi. Another victory in the books, and I'm glad to be alive. Everyone gets a pass on exceeding alcohol rations today. What has you in such a good mood? We were just, how do I put it earlier? Being fired at and fighting for our lives. True, but your attitude about battle has me thinking. But today, at least, I have decided that any time we come out alive is cause for celebration. We shouldn't be worrying over the fact that we could have just died. Yeah, boss, pull out whatever your German or Turkish drink of choice is and join me in the celebrating. This would be an excellent time to challenge you to a drinking competition. After all, my drinks of choice are non-alcoholic. You're no fun. What? You're not going to join me in celebrating? Okay, then what is your favourite drink? Hi, Ran, as usual. Have any salt around? I'm surprised you don't drink Yavuz. What's the story there? There's more than one reason, but I bet you can guess the obvious ones. Ah, the admirable admiral didn't drink, of course. It was an occasion, but it had to be the right occasion. He didn't smoke either. He liked people, and he liked having fun, but it was important for him to maintain his self-control. A wise policy, one others should probably consider adopting. Now, shall we toast? I think so. To the Admiral. To the Admiral. Looking at Admiral Sochion's service record is pretty daunting. The man is skillful, self-assured, and seriously intimidating. It was funny to see his two sides. There was the Sochion who could navigate any social situation and make people feel welcome and comfortable. And then there was the in-command Sochion, who was not someone you'd want to trifle with. He was stoic and always in complete control of any situation. Did you know he earned the Pour le Mérite? It was in German's highest military order. The intimidation continues. And they just let him disappear. How does that even happen? Maybe we're missing the obvious. Maybe he wanted to disappear. His career ended in an awful way. Maybe he needed a fresh start. Even if that's the case, Zhou Qian devoted his life to fighting for Germany, even when it was clear they would lose, and they abandoned him. It's not fair. It's true that things aren't the way they should be, so Xion didn't deserve what happened. Still, if anyone could come back from that kind of blow, I think it would be him. The man. I've heard enough with being depressed about the state of the world. We need a distraction. What do you say? Put on the record Lily Moraine and have a dance. Go order ensigns to carry out ridiculous challenges. Go up on deck and enjoy the fresh air. You know I love seeing their confused faces. Sir, we have incoming Morgana. Just a quick battle, and then we'll resume distracting ourselves. Yavuz, I've been looking for you. Where have you been? I wanted to be alone. What's wrong? It's stupid. It's nothing. Come on, out with it. What if what if that happened to me? If the protection force decides I'm worthless, like Germany did with Sochon? What if I outgrow my usefulness? What if they decide to scuttle me? I'd rather go down in a fight than meet that sort of end. Yavuz, how can you talk like that? I wouldn't let that happen. You're probably right. You're probably right. You're right. Pessimism wouldn't help anything. You know why that's not going to happen to you? Because everyone knows you're the tough old ship that would never die. What did the Turks name you? Yavuz. And why? Because they know you are brazen, capable, and can turn even the bleakest of situations into your advantage. You won't outlive your usefulness. And no one's going to scuttle you, not on my watch. You're delusional, but you're also encouraging. Sir, there's the Morgana approaching. Come on, Yavuz. Let's show them why it's a mistake to mess with you. It seems talking about Sochon's time in Germany hasn't been so helpful. So let's focus on Turkey for a while. How's his career over there? Honestly, not much better than his time in Kiel, which is sad to say. His initial campaign bombing Russia's Black Sea ports was a success, but after that things were much harder. Harder in what way? Sochon really wanted to help improve Turkey's management of their navy and shipping operations, but none of the officials would listen to him. He also asked for more support to keep Russian submarines in the Black Sea at bay, but they never approved it. That I'll take that means I should look more for Socho in Turkey. I take it that means I shouldn't go looking for Sochon in Turkey. No, I think all the bridges there were conclusively burned. How did his spirits hold up, being where no one would listen to him? He was frustrated, sure, but at the same time, Sochon wasn't the one to let frustrations pull him down. He kept serving to the best of his abilities, kind of like you. You think so? I don't know about that, but thank you. I'll take it. Oh, good. It's a good quality to have. Now, don't be alarmed, but it sounds like we have a Morgana approaching. Yavuz, are you awake? Nihambe. Oh, Captain. I must have dozed off. It's pretty uncharacteristic of you to be sleeping on the job. Sorry, Captain. I was up late last night. Doing what? Regaling our sailors with the story of destroying Prut. It's impossible for me to tell it without getting a little overexcited. That much is obvious. Well, don't wear yourself out with all this storytelling. We still need you fit for battle. Oh, will you tell it to me? Definitely sounds exciting. Perhaps another time. Haha. Think of it now. Those ridiculous Russians hardly knew what to do with us. Sochon was in fine form that day. Even when he realized his actions caused Russia to declare war on Turkey. Oh, that was Soshon's intention from the beginning. What? Heh, I'll tell you later. Alana ahead. Yavuz, don't you owe me an explanation regarding Soshon and Turkey? Even Tabiki. It's simple, Evil. Really? Although Soshon technically became an officer in the Ottoman Navy, he was always still in the service of Germany. However, Soshon was wise in how he went about that. While other German officers in the Ottoman Navy tried to outright convince Turkey to support Germany in the war, Soshon focused his efforts on improving the navy. And eventually he became general commander of the Turkish fleet and was able to make the decision to bombard Russia's Black Sea ports. He knew Russia would declare war in retaliation, and Turkey would be aligned themselves with Germany, and Turkey would have aligned themselves with Germany. That's quite a call to make. I know. I'm loyal to Turkey, and I do try to see what he did through that lens. But his decisiveness and determination were incredible. True, but I'm not sure it was the right decision. Didn't that end up leading to the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire? That's a lot of trouble for a country that didn't want to be in the war. I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just not sure he was right. Seems reckless to me. That just seems like a difficult choice. I take your point, but at the same time, Turkey is healthier now than the Ottoman Empire was for centuries. It's possible that. Oh, that would be the sound of heavy artillery. Here we go again. Yeah, was. Did I hear you yelling profanities and insults earlier? Yvette, I'm sorry if that was alarming. No, it wasn't that. I was just curious what drew that kind of ire out of you. Oh, it was just Winston Churchill. Not the answer I was expecting. What did he do? Nothing recently. Someone mentioned his last name, and I can't help but get angry anytime he comes up. He's a horrible man. What makes you say that? Well, it's nearly all personal bias. First, he ordered the appropriation of 2 Turkish ships without compensation, without compensating the Turkish government, leaving an opening for you and Barasu in their fleets. Or Brisalu in their fleets. Hush. Second, he said that I cause more slaughter, more misery, and more ruin for the people in the Middle East than any other ship. That seems severe. Third, he's just always seemed like a deeply unpleasant person. He's always so impetuous and unfeeling, not to mention he always thinks he's right. Sounds like someone I know. Sounds like me. That's probably what made him an effective official. Fine, I will admit he's well suited to his job. Actually, Churchill and Sochon seem to have similar philosophies on making decisions that will affect other people. Now I'm imagining Sochon and Churchill having dinner together. I'm trying to have a civil conversation. I don't think it would go well. Probably not. Sir, there's a Morgana approaching. So much for civil conversations. Yavuz, Captain, do I have a story for you? Just one moment, DeMarco. We have a Morgana on our hands. Better hunker down. Everything alright, DeMarco? Let's just say I'll be very happy to be on dry land once more. Once I am, I will never step off it again. So, what's the story? Bad news first. The lead fell short of actually getting me in contact with Soshan. The good news is I learned a bit more about what he did after the Kiel mutiny. I was able to speak with an officer of the Imperial Navy who attempted to ask Soshan to join the service again for a top secret mission. Attempted to ask, meaning he failed. He said a few years ago he was asked to go to Soshan's house in Bremen and offer him a commission. He wasn't expecting Soshan's housekeeper to be so fiercely protective of him that she wouldn't even let the officer enter the house. She chased him off with a broom and a guard dog. He returned to the house to try again a few weeks later, but Soshan was gone. I guess he really was trying to disappear. So what you're saying is, not even the Imperial Navy can contact him? It's possible they did succeed in commissioning him again, and he's back at sea now. That could explain why we're having trouble connecting him to anyone. Perhaps. Captain. Yes, Yavuz? I've been thinking about what you said, that Soshan could be fighting at sea again. What if? What if he is, and the reason we can't find him is because he's already been killed? Yavuz, where is this coming from? He's getting older. It's not out of the realm of possibilities for him to feel the need to prove himself. That can make a person reckless. But you said no one could ever accuse him of being reckless. I did. But 20 years is a long time. People change. If he thinks he has something to prove, he's more likely to make mistakes. One bad encounter with a Morgana and he could be gone. But no matter how old he is, Soshan is smarter than that. Honestly, I don't think any Morgana could take down Soshan. Even on her best day, no matter how old he is. I don't think Soshan is capable of dying. I think he would refuse to die, and Death would have to say, "Sorry, my mistake, I'll be going now." That sounds about right. Sorry to interrupt, sir. There's a Morgana approaching from the south. What do you say? Let's go teach her a lesson. Oh, Kazar, back for more? Monster girls? Come at me then. Another victory in the books. You know, Yavuz, we've been working backwards through the Admiral's service record for a while now, and I haven't heard the story of evading the British fleet. You've been waiting for that one. I've heard about it before, but getting the story from the ship herself should be pretty good. Haha, I suppose it would be. Well, German had us stationed in the Adriatic, Adriatic, Adriatic. Yeah. Haha, I suppose it would be. Well, Germany had us stationed in the Adriatic, so that if war broke out, we would be able to stop the French military transports. My boiler needed repairs, so we had stopped in Paula. As soon as Sochon heard about the Archduke, he knew he needed to get out. Meanwhile, Churchill had dispatched Admiral Milne to shadow us and keep us from interfering with those French transports. Sochon had already planned to bomb Bonnet and Philippeville, but he was given an order to proceed to Constantinople for refuge. Sochon decided to bomb them anyway. The French thought we would escape west to Gibraltar, but we were already heading east to Ottoman territory. The British tried to intercept us because they still thought we were going to attack the French transports. Richelieu held them off, while I sought further repairs in the Aegean. After that, we made our way to Turkish Straits, narrowly evading the British fleet. When the Turks finally allowed us passage, Sochon looked back and could see the smoke of the British ships appearing from the horizon. We became Turkish ships that very moment in order to take advantage of Turkish neutrality. There was nothing the British could do. That's really impressive. Sounds like you were really lucky. It's almost funny how that unfolded. It really is. It was truly a strange combination of cleverness and luck. There are so many things that, if they were even seconds off in timing, if they had been communicated differently, well, everything could have turned out very differently. Captain, I wanted to let you know I got in contact with my friends in Kiel, and is going to check around like you asked. Thanks, DeMarco. What was that about? We'll see. We will litter the sea with your machinery, Nixie. Nixie? I do still know German. I tell you, Yavuz, I cannot wait for the whole Morgana problem to be taken care of. All these battles are getting tiresome. You say that like you would be doing something different if the Morganas weren't around. Wouldn't I? It's not as if a captain gets a lot of free time, even if there's no war going on. The truth is, in this age, war has always been just around the corner at best. So Sean saw that. That's why he was adamant to get my repairs done, even though Germany wasn't actively in a war. He wanted to be ready in case what he felt would happen did. And when the Archduke was assassinated, he knew we had to move quickly. It was only a matter of time before we'd get caught in the fray. Well, that's depressing. That's the life of it. That's the life of a captain. What if I weren't a captain? You're thinking about quitting? No, not really. It's nice to think about it sometimes, though. What would I do if I could do anything? I could see more of the world than just port towns. I could have a family of my own. I could become a circus performer, like I wanted to when I was 6. What is it, Yavuz? Captain? I think I would miss you a lot if you left. Well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Yavuz, you're brooding. What? I can practically smell it coming off of you. You're wrapped up in some thought about something. And it's not a cheerful something. Out with it. I was thinking about my sister, Maltka. The one who was in the High Seas Fleet? Yvette. Did you know she was supposed to take my place in the Mediterranean? Really? She was supposed to come relieve me in Paula. I still had repairs that needed to be done. And she was better equipped anyway. What changed? The assassination. They didn't have time to make the switch. If they had, I never would have I never would have been left in Turkey. Maltka might never have been scuttled. You can't let yourself think like that. Why not? Because it will drive you insane. Because it's not reality. Because it will give you a headache. I can be rather mundane sometimes, can't I? And furthermore, I need your mind here right now, because we have Morganas coming up on us. Tabi efendim. Efendim. Tabi efendim. You know, Yavuz, I don't know anything about what you did before Soshan was assigned to you. That's probably because there wasn't much that happened. I was only in the Navy for a little over a year before Soshan took command. In any case, I was built in Hamburg, and when the First Balkan War broke out, I was moved to the Mediterranean to protect German interests. But there wasn't so much action there. I mostly just hopped port to port before settling in Paula. And then the Second Balkan War started. You couldn't leave the Mediterranean, and Soshan was assigned to you. Yvette. I remember the first day he stepped aboard, he was so tall, I didn't even know he was actually that tall in my mind, but he was towering. Before he even spoke, I could sense that he had everything under control. He wasn't only going to keep us safe, he was going to lead us to do great things. And looking back, do you feel like you did great things? I don't know. We certainly did impressive things, but it might be too early to tell if we did good things. No, well, there's no point in worrying about it. Well, we can make sure to do good things now. Well, at least you've been impressive. You're right. I should make the best of every moment. Captain, a package arrived for you. What is it? Just a gift from a friend. It can wait. For now, it seems we're coming up upon a Morgana. You'll regret this, Alana. Nixie. Actually does seem more on point for a sea monster. Isn't an Alana kind of a riverside creature? I'm imagining these things beached and helpless. Fair enough, then. Yavuz, a moment, please. Yes, Demarco? I think it's time to admit we're not going to find Soshan. If I come across anything in the future, I'll be sure to let you know. As it happens, my services have been retained by a man in Italy who's convinced his wife is having an affair. You know how to contact me if you need anything. Thank you for your good work, DeMarco. Have fun being back on land. Oh, I will enjoy it very much. You don't seem too disappointed. Oddly, I'm not. Why is that? I spent a long time idolizing Admiral Soshan. I didn't ever think to stop about the impact his actions actually had on the world. I think he was really a good man, but I also think a lot of people suffered because of his decisions. All the confusion and fighting for them from the Ottoman Empire being split up, it was Soshan's decision to attack those Black Sea ports that started that chain of events. That means I'm culpable to the bad side of that too. It's not your fault. I guess so. Yavuz. It's alright. What we're doing now, fighting the Morganas, protecting the sea so the war can be a fair fight, that's my chance to make up for what I've done. In some ways, I think I'll always wonder about what happened to Soshan, but at the same time, he's not my captain anymore. I have a new captain, one I know I can trust to do the right thing. Back for more, Alana? Come at me. Of us. Wait a moment. Let's have a drink. Captain, you know I don't drink much. Just take the drink. True, but you drink if you have a good reason. Fine, but it's better if you take the drink. What's better? What are you talking about? This drink is for two things. Commiserating our failure to find Soshan, and celebrating our success in finding this. A notebook? What is it? I had DeMarco contact some people at Kiel to see if Soshan left any personal items. It wasn't looking hopeful until one of Soshan's old officers remembered he had this. Take a look. Oh. It's his journal from 1914. He covers everything, all his thoughts on everything that happened. It's all there. The assassination of the Archduke, realizing the war was coming, knowing he needed to get you repaired and evade the British fleet. Then, his decision to destroy Russian Black Sea ports, realizing it would thrust Turkey into war. He really was an extraordinary man. He knew difficult times were ahead, but he was glad to have such a reliable and vicious ship such as the Yavuz and the Bresu or Brisalu with him. He really depended on you. Thank you, Captain. I don't know what to say. Well, Yavuz, what are friends for?
Yvette.